What's up, guys? This is Rob from UnGeek, and I'm with Paco today. And as we're looking at Resident Evil 2, one of the most hyped games in Tokyo Game
Probably
Show.
it was like one of the games wherein like loads and loads of people lined up. Probably the top game people lined up for. So definitely.
Right up there with Kingdom Hearts
Right
and
up
everything. This hype has been there since E3. This remake has been so sought for that
Yeah.
people have just been clamoring to see anything about it, and we're so lucky to finally be able to demo. Well, I did during E3, and now you got to experience
I
it
was
as
able
well.
to experience the Leon demo as well during TGS. So it's roughly like what, say 14, 15 minutes of gameplay.
And right now, we're seeing right now the police department, and look how pristine the graphics are.
Very
Let's compare it to how the original RE2 was. I was able to really play RE2 extensively. It was one of my favorite games as a kid. And basically, what I loved about it was that it did still have that survivor
distinct-
horror
Yeah.
theme.
Very distinctive.
That, let's be honest, RE kind of lost.
It
And
kind of lost its way along the years, wherein it changed.
it
the
became
formula,
action
more
oriented.
action oriented, definitely.
So everyone is looking towards this remake because, well, the success of RE7. So I mean, how does you've played this? How does it compare now to RE7?
So I absolutely loved RE7, even though it was a big departure from the famed Resident Evil formula. The game was in first person, and it focused more on like narrative cutscenes, etc., etc. So it's more like a modern survival horror game, whereas this one is like a return to form, I feel.
Yep. Well, it's a return to, well, one of the most famous parts of Resident Evil, which was 2. This was the introduction of Leon, who became one of the most iconic characters in the series. But now you notice that we're seeing it right here, that it's gone to the view of that behind the back style, which RE4, 5, and 6 used.
Yeah.
Well, 7 became like a first person, but now...
Now it's more like a third person. Well, they're using the same engine as Resident Evil 7. So I guess that's why they opted for like a third person over the shoulder camera.
Right. There's another level of horror. I mean, the first person thing worked out for RE7.
Yeah.
And I think just the main complaint for people was that, it started out the whole survival horror thing, but now it became very actiony towards the end. And now we have this, hopefully, if it stays true to the story, it goes back to that very primal survivor horror theme that RE was known for. All right, so most importantly, let's talk about combat, probably one of the most important facets of Resident Evil, and we're seeing it. Okay, walk us through what happened here.
So basically, zombies came out and I just shoot them at the head, which was like I think the most effective way to kill them. And like there was a point in time wherein the zombies got to me and like it switches to like a really front to the face camera view, and you have to like tap buttons to break away from the zombie.
Now, how did
satisfying combat actually?
how did it feel? In terms of like the whole horror and survival horror aspect of it.
Well, I only got to play with a pistol during the combat, but like it felt very satisfying. The gunplay was it felt very precise.
Actually, we were with Kelly back in E3, and she was laughing at me the entire time because, as you can see here, accidentally I was shooting in the nether region in the ground, not by choice. It just happened to aim there because I was doing the style of shooting them in the kneecaps and then just knifing them.
Yeah.
You will see me running towards the zombies, trying to get gotta save those bullets. And Kelly would tap me after us playing and say, "What were you doing? How were you playing this?" In fairness, that entire experience though, I loved it. I remember it really gave me this nice recollection of how I went through 4, where you were so scared of running out of bullets. Like, well, I didn't.
Well, actually, what I noticed was that during the demo, I know bullets are supposed to be a very scarce resource for Resident Evil, but I actually ended up with like a lot of bullets at the end of the 15-minute demo. I don't know if it's just for the demo, or if it's by design. That they
Well,
make it
judging
more
from your
actiony.
playthrough, I don't think you really wasted a lot
Yeah,
of ammo.
yeah.
I guess
But I
that's
just
really
ended up
just
with,
for
like, 60
people.
bullets. It's just for people who
Just like empty whole clips
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
zombies.
It's not Call of Duty.
Now that we've said that, we weren't able to play the Claire,
The Claire
scenario.
demo, yeah.
And you would see basically her fighting, which I think is a tyrant monster.
Yeah.
And she would have rocket launchers, grenades, and everything. It was pretty hype. Once again, I just hope that the pacing is correct so that it doesn't feel like you're just ramboing through the whole thing.
Right. Right.
Long story short, I think this is really a strong game that people are looking forward
It's
to.
definitely, for fans of old Resident Evil, it's going to be a must-buy, no-brainer. But then again, I think, with the modern graphics and, the interface and, the familiar puzzle aspects of the game, of course, for new gamers like me who weren't really immersed in the Resident Evil series, it's going to be a great entry point to this series.
Right, right. And I hope it does start, well, at least maybe resuscitate the Resident Evil franchise to find that nice little zombie horror aspect of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game.
Definitely.
And
I'm gonna pick it up as soon as I can.
start of the year, actually, I think around January, I believe. So yeah, so anyway, that's it for our really quick impressions straight from Tokyo Game Show, mixed with a little bit of stuff that we got from E3.
Yep.
So yeah, once again, this is Rob and this is Paco, and we'll see you in the next video. Keep on gaming.